Alrighty, I always start the video like that, do I? Alright, well, let's see. Let's go for a different start of the video. Hello there, folks. um, Welcome to the weekend video. Welcome to the weekend. I hope you had a great week, and I hope the markets were kind enough to you. They weren't so kind to me, but I hope they at least worked out for you. Alright, let's go through the normal rigmarole. I'll start in the 4-hour charts and work down to the short-term time frame. Right, so this is the euro-dollar short-term, 4-hour chart. And again, let's go daily chart. We're tracking this very large correction since 2015, A, B, and C of a large B wave in black here. And we're kind of we're looking at a turn down into a C wave at a very large degree. Okay, so that's the background. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. We're looking at the previous wave 5 here on the 4-hour chart, and that wave 5 in blue should trace out 5 waves. So we've got wave 1, 2, possible. Yeah, I should update that now, really, shouldn't I? Possible 5th wave. Maybe I'll go into the alternate counts right now on the short-term chart, but I'm thinking that there is a possible 5th wave in at today's high, maybe. I'll get rid of that. Okay, so we want to possible wave 3. I should have updated this chart earlier. Wave 3. Flat correction wave 4, and wave possibly complete wave 5. I've said possible about 100 times now so far. Okay, so into the we'll go into this 3, 4, and 5 formation here on the hourly chart. Okay, so there's the top of wave 3. There's that flat correction wave 4, and here is the alternate count wave 5. So what we're on wave 5 anyway, either way, whichever way you look at it. So the reason I'm talking about a possible completion this evening is this alternate count, or sorry, this alternate count high for wave 5 in green here was projected to a minimum of a minimum break of wave 3 high. So that wave 3 high was 125.37. So at a minimum, you expect wave 5 to break that high, apart from in the rare case of a 5th wave failure. But this afternoon's high broke resistance there at 125.37 and then turned down sharply. Now this could either be just wave 1 of 5 or a complete wave 5, and what we need to see now is to differentiate between both is the structure of the decline off today's high. So today's high comes in at 125.54. So if we get a 5-wave down, a 5-wave structure off that 125.54 high, and it breaks the previous wave 4 here, so which would be 122.05, so that'd be a pretty decent decline, 350 points. If we get that 5-wave structure down and a break of that key resistance there, or sorry, key support there, then we're on for the alternate count will be triggered. Wave 5 will be in, and we're on for tracking the decline into the large wave C that I was talking about on the daily chart there, this large wave C down, which will bring prices below parity. And I think a long way below parity. Okay, that's the long-term view anyway. If we see a 3-wave decline and a recovery back above the B wave high, the internal B wave high there, then we're talking a larger 5th wave will play out, possibly into the 128.65 region there. So early next week, Monday, Tuesday, if we see what we need to watch is the development of this decline here. Does it develop into a 5-wave decline, and do we get a break of that key support there, 122.05, and that'll kind of orientate us for the well, if we get a break of that support, then that'll orientate us for the medium term to the downside. Okay, so let's get into pound dollar. Pound dollar, I haven't, like I said during the week there, I haven't switched to the alternate account, which would allow for one more rally up, which were this 3-wave. Let me clarify my own thoughts here for a second. This 3-wave rally in ABC here, it would be ABC of C, so it would be in technical terms you'd be talking about a WXY, but I always stick to ABC. I hate using WXY for some reason. It just bloody well complicates things in my own head. I know 3 waves is ABC, and that's that. So I have it marked as a 3-wave rally in wave C green. This could change to a 5-wave rally, to a conventional 5-wave rally in wave C. But again, we're talking about a C wave of a large correction, and in general, we're closing out this phase of this kind of bullish phase in pound dollar. But I didn't switch to the alternate account, and the reason, one of the reasons, is this declining trend line here. It hadn't been broken, and the internal wave structure didn't lend itself to a reversal in an impulsive pattern to the upside as euro dollar did. So pound dollar could be ahead of the curve here for a larger degree turn down. Let's get into the short term chart, and we'll see if we get a clarification on that. Now, well, before I do, this decline here on Friday has flattened out the 50-period moving average here, so we could be looking at it. Well, if the decline continues, we could be looking at a kind of a death cross here on a death cross on a bearish death, or a bearish cross of the moving averages, which could develop pretty impulsively, pretty quickly. So let's keep an eye on that one. So let's go into the 1-hour chart, or the hourly chart, let's say. So what I'm tracking at the moment is wave 1 ABC correction, wave 2, and a 1 ABC correction, wave 2 again. So a 1-2-1-2 pattern to the downside. Again, the turn down this evening has kind of come into the trend channel decline, and here is the line connecting the 3 highs there, and you'll see that the price gave way. You know, it kind of a failed break of that kind of trend line there, which is not good for if we're looking to switch to an alternate bullish count. Well, then that's not a good start. Obviously, we need to see a continuation of this decline here, and probably a rapid continuation, really. I want to see a break of 139.27. That's the kind of internal or interim high there. So that was 3 waves up. If we're looking at this ABC correction here, it's basically a double combination expanded flat. It's a real damn stupid complex one. So we have the 3-wave correction in wave A, 3 waves in B, and then we get this complete flat correction again with 3 waves in A, 3 waves in B, and then a 5-wave C pattern. So it's a double combination would be a full wave pattern in wave A, 3 waves in the center, and a full wave pattern in wave C. Hence the double phraseology. So we have a double wave pattern joined with a 3-wave correction. So if we get a decline into wave 3 next week, again a lower high below, let's say, the trend line, I want to see a break at that into that trend channel again, in order to rule out the alternate account. But I figure if I were a betting man, and I am, I'm betting that we'll see a break at 139.27 on Monday, and we can shift focus to the downside again. All right, so let's get on to dollar yen, which is possibly the most interesting of the crosses, the dollar crosses at the moment. We've got a nice completion of a pattern within a trend channel, a larger degree pattern. If we go back to the start here, so we have wave 1, 2, 3, and 4 possibly, and now 5. And within 5, I think we can count. I'll go over that actually. 1 down, 2 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in wave 3, a minor flat in wave 4, and then a punch to the downside in wave 5. So we'll get rid of those scribbles. A complete 5-wave pattern and a bounce off the lower trend line. The target was at 104.30 or in around 104, and we reached a low today of, let's see, the low today was 105.54. So we're above the target, but again, we're within range. So we may even see, you know, let's say a kind of unfolding of internal waves here, which kind of bounce along this lower trend line for another couple of days. But I think we're closer to the end of this correction than to a beginning of any correction. So I think for next week I've shifted my focus to the upside now. I want to see a break of 106.86, which is this previous internal wave 4 here. And first of all, if we get that on, if this small rise here, this evening's rise continues on the overnight, say Sunday overnight, and we get a break of 106.86, well then into resistance, we'd look for a rally into resistance 108.45. So we'd be looking for, again, a simple higher low above that 105.50 low to kind of set up for a bullish run up. The big news from Japan this week was the guy that's tipped for one of the vacant seats, I think, on the central bank, is again another inflationist, an inflationist academic. Can you show me an academic economist that isn't an inflationist? They'd be very few and far between. I remember in my economics, I studied economics for 3 years, and I remember I did a degree in economics for 3 years, and I remember I couldn't find a kind of someone. I couldn't find someone to argue with, to argue on my side of the equation. Every single one of them were, you know, to the core, they were inflationists. They would argue about stealing from granny all day long. I remember I actually said that to one of my lecturers. Do you not feel bad about stealing from granny, or the government stealing from granny? And then his answer was, well, granny had a good life. That was his honest answer, and that's the kind of prevailing wind within conventional economics anyways. Is granny has had a good life and she's about to go, so we don't care about stealing from her. And I found that quite funny. You can't really argue with that kind of entrenched position anyway, and no matter what the logic. Okay, let's get back to the short-term wave count, shall we? So 5 waves down in wave 5, possibly complete. Next week I'm looking for a bullish signal to go along again. So dollar yen, maybe it'll spin my way this time. Let's get on to stocks. So we're looking for kind of signals of a reversal in around this band of resistance here. We had, let's say, up to 125, 25,500. Excuse me. Suffering from a cold this week. Suffering from a cold and children this week. Kids are off school. Alrighty, so we had two previous internal fourth waves. So we had a fourth wave high at 25,500, which would be 2 degrees below, and then we had a fourth wave high here at 25,303, I think, which would be 1 degree below. We got right in between that today, and we pretty much ended the day flat. So I've kind of altered this internal wave count slightly. There's two major ways to look at this. We could be, I haven't shown this as an alternate count, but we could be looking at an ABC pattern here, and that's a kind of a large flat correction. Or we could be looking at an ABC pattern here, and that's kind of the one I favor at the moment. Again, we're both pointing to the same thing. If we get a punch down early next week, we've finished off highs, so we've kind of finished, well, flat with a kind of impulse move to the downside on a very short-term chart. So if the downside gains hold on Monday and we see a punch lower, let's say below the previous fourth wave there, so that would be let's get in and see what that level would be. Definitely below the 500, so 24,950 or so, that previous fourth wave there. If that happens, then we're looking at the completion of a three-wave pattern and possibly a large Elliott wave signal off the all-time high there. So we'll remain vigilant, I think, next week if we see another impulse wave, which was 5 waves down, 3 waves up. Let's get rid of that there. It's in my way. If we see another impulse wave to the downside, creating a lower high, then that's a definite signal to pay attention, and a signal that the market is about to spill lower again. At that point, we'll have waves 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3. So we'll be talking about on the verge of a third wave down. Okay, so that's the setup in stocks for next week. Gold looking good so far, leading diagonal wave 1. That's a very sharp wave 2, but we caught a rally in wave 3 and a very shallow wave 4. Looking for a punch higher today. We got that to complete 5 waves up. Didn't get a break of resistance though, so that's the only doubt over this particular count at the moment. Excuse me again. 3 waves down is what we want to see. The initial decline off the low to, or sorry, the high today was pretty sharp, so we're probably looking at a 3-wave zigzag, a nice sharp punchy pattern into wave 2. Looking at 1336 there as initial support. That would be the high of that internal wave 1, and it looks like it's a nice level in general because we have this cluster of let's say previous shoulders, so kind of support resistance levels internally within the price there. So that's kind of a nice level for a price to reach for support. We had an internal wave 4 there, 1331. So we have a band of possibilities there. Obviously support at the moment at 1307, that's key support for the short-term bullish pattern. Don't want to see a break of that next week. So we want to see a 3-wave decline to a higher low above 1307, and then we'll be looking at a rally in wave. We have wave 1 and 2 complete in green, wave 1 and 2 complete in blue. So a third of a third again, wave up. So we're looking at a third of a third down in stocks and a third of a third up in gold, which would kind of fit kind of opposite sides of the fear trade there. Okay, so let's move on to crude. Before I started this video, my computer just shut off randomly. It's been doing that for the last couple of days, so maybe it's time to upgrade again. And this time I didn't even spill coffee on it. I bought this laptop about 6 months ago after knocking a whole cup of coffee over my previous laptop. I do like to kill laptops somehow, so I think this one is overheating and just shutting off randomly, which is not good after 6 months. Don't buy HP, okay? So crude oil, we have two possibilities. The moral of that story was save your charts before your computer randomly shuts off, because I lost all my charts when I lost the updates on the charts before the damn thing shut off. Okay, so I was looking at a possible larger degree 1-2 pattern instead of the 1-2 developing wave 3. The reason for that is because this internal correction higher here has it's kind of lost proportion with, say, it has totally lost proportion with this previous wave 2 correction. So we're looking at a wave 4 in pink and a wave 2 in pink, and they don't marry very well at all in terms of let's say their relative size to each other, which is not like, it's not a rule, but it's definitely an indication that we're working on differing degrees of corrections. So we could be talking about either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in gray here, or I'll start drawing that out so that we could be talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, or we could be talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, depending on how you view that particular pattern in there, which is quite indecipherable. I think it's more corrective to the downside, and that's why I kind of prefer this 1, 2 here as an alternate. So if we see, I think this C wave here is an ending diagonal, so I think it counts well as a C wave, which lends itself either to the corrective wave 2 or corrective wave 4. Kind of leaning in favor of this alternate count at the moment, so corrective wave 2, which would see a decline in a larger wave 3 next week. But we're coming up against resistance, to kind of internal previous shoulders there of the price. So we've got resistance at kind of 63 there, where we've kind of lost momentum into resistance, so below resistance. I think next week is not looking good for crude. Either way, excuse me, on both counts. Monday, if we see a break of 59.72 on Monday, that'll kind of complete the, that'll be that interim low there. That would complete that 3-wave pattern, and we'd be looking to the downside in the short term, either in a third wave, wave 5 of 3, or wave 1 of 3. So let's see how that the alternate count, let's say the correct count should come to light by Wednesday, I reckon, because we should see a punch lower into key support in a completion of this third wave, or we should see a lower high below this the highs of today, or the wave 4 high here, and I'm kind of leaning in favor of that lower high at the moment to kind of differentiate between both counts. I figure if we get a lower high, then we're looking at the alternate count, and we'll be seeing a larger kind of acceleration to the downside ongoing over the next few weeks. So for Monday, in the short term, let's forget about all that crap that I just spoke there. In the short term, we want to see a completion of this kind of rally in wave C and a decline into a possible 5th wave at least, with an eye on 59.74. Okay, so that's me. If you can make sense of that, good on you. I think my brain is a little bit addled with my current health, my current state of health. But for next week, I hope to be back to at least semi. I've even lost the words. At least a decent level of health that I can string sentences together. Okay, so I hope you have a great weekend, and wishing you all the best, and we'll talk to you again on Monday evening at the close. Alrighty, Godspeed, guys. Bye-bye. And gals, don't forget. Bye-bye.